Good morning, team. Thank you so much for jumping on the call today. Episode 205. Are you ready for the home stretch? And I'm taking a little break today away from Take Flight. I feel like I needed to kind of give you a true pep talk. Here we are, September 11th. And my goal here today is to get you thinking about how we're going to wrap this year. And these weeks go so fast in the fall. And so I got to get your mind right, but it help you get your mind right today. But before I get into this call, I want to remind you of my professional purpose. And that is to help you, the broker advisor, optimize your productivity and help you become the best version of yourself. Why? Because happy brokers sell more real estate. And I do that by helping you handle challenges and opportunities that you face every single day. And if you can effectively manage certain situations that arise on a daily basis in your business, you will be more productive and you will live a life that is the best version of you. And my ask, please, when you listen to these calls, listen to them as if we are in a one-on-one coaching session in my office. I would love to be one-on-one with every single one of you. This is how I scale my impact, how I scale my coaching is through this podcast and through these episodes. So thank you so much. Listen to me, like I said, as if we are one-on-one together. And on this 255th, on this 205th episode of my Monday Morning Pep Talk, I'll take the opportunity to do just a brain dump on all things that have been on my mind as it relates to where we are in this real estate brokerage market and the topics I've been discussing with brokers and advisors kind of one-on-one over the past month. Uh, I'll I'll do this before I jump back into Take Flight version 4.0 over the coming weeks. When the calendar flips from August to September, my mindset tends to shift with it. Is yours? I've been talking to a lot of people. It seems like, yeah, that calendar flips to September and something happens, right? We've got 3 weeks only to wrap up Q3 2023. And listen to this, guys, only 13 weeks, 94 productive days to execute before the December no-fly zone. Now, I took out the week of Thanksgiving to get those 13 weeks and 94 days. But team, this part of the year goes so fast with all of the holidays and everything that we have to work around. But I say all this knowing that championships truly are indeed won in the fourth quarter. And I'll discuss that today and the best way to approach the remainder of 2023 and prepare for 2024. Being a level producer, super achiever requires thought and planning. Heard me talk about this ad nauseum over the last as we've gone through Take Flight. Building an effective business plan. I didn't say hobby plan. Building an effective business plan starts with asking yourself good questions. Once you answer these questions and understand the realities of your situation, your environment, and the current market conditions, you can get to work. Okay, the business is tough, and it takes consistent daily effort and focus on your mindset every day to maintain the incredibly important concept of momentum. Team, these transactions, getting off script a little bit right now, as you know, are tougher than they've ever been. And what I will tell people when I hear the complexity of these transactions is that is giving us job security, okay? Because we are finding that, these deals will not get done without you, okay? So that's the important part here. So keep your head up, but we got to stay in momentum. And let me tell you, there is no judging here. When I'm writing these Monday morning pep talks in a lot of ways, guys, I am talking to myself. Okay. My goal here is to lead. And if you could see what I've seen over the years, you'd find that high performance and financial success is easier than you think. You just have to commit to those daily actions that you know are going to move your business forward. Okay. Fall markets can benefit you greatly or limit your success the following year. Has anybody here ever taken off a fall and said, "Oh, I had a good year. I just love it when leaves are turning and go carve some pumpkins and do all that." And then they realize they get to the next year and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I made a major mistake. Yeah, these are trap months. Okay. And my goal here as your leader is to, and coach, is to make sure that you start 2024 strong. So with that being said, here are 10 questions that I think you should be asking yourself right now. Don't write these down. They're going to be in the email tomorrow. Okay. If you don't get the email, go onto my Instagram account, Ask Jim Miller, go onto the link. There's a little place where you can subscribe to the email. But here's the 10 questions that I think you should be asking yourself right now. Remember, high performance starts, or you have to be, high performance is a game of thinking and acting. Okay. So here's the 10 questions that I would be asking yourself right now. Do I take enough time to think about my business? Am I executing properly on the plan I created last year? Am I executing on the 12-week year plan? That's when I say 10 questions, really, there's 10 levels of questions or areas of questions. That number one here had 3 questions, right? Do I take enough time to think about my business? Am I executing properly on the plan I created last year? How many people still have their plan in the top drawer of their desk? Am I executing on the 12-week year plan? Team, the more I'm wrapping up year number 2 on the 12-week year, I cannot tell you what an impact that has had on my life. If you have not jumped in on that and created your 3-year vision and your annual themes and your quarterly initiatives, you'll hear me talk a lot about those today. You got to do it this fall. Okay? Please, please, please. Like I said, I don't want this more for you than you want it for yourself. But I'm telling you, it starts with these plans. Number 2, where's my mindset right now? Is there a bad habit I want to leave in 2023? What new habit do I want to take into 2024? What habit do I want to leave behind in 2023? And what new habit do I want to join me in 2024? Number 3, is my business in a better place than it was a year ago? And I'm not talking about production or GCI here, right? I'm talking system wise. Is my database in a better place than it was a year ago? Is my mindset, yes, your mindset is part of your business. You do not do anything without the right mindset. Is my mind in the right place? Are my habits and rituals helping me, or are they slowing me down? Is my business in a better place than it was a year ago? Number 4, do I find myself consistently comparing myself to others? Is my focus where it should be and on what I can control? Do I find myself consistently comparing myself to others? Team, this is where businesses go to die. Have people come to me and tell me all the things they're doing, a lot of success, and then there's always a but behind it. But so and so, this is a you versus you game. This is a you versus you game. And where you're at right now, not where you want to be, but where you're at right now, what am I executing on? What do I need to do today to get 1% better? What can I control? Number 5, what version of me do I want to be at the end of 2023? And what did I let slip in 2023? Number 6, what do I need to get done in the next 13 weeks, 94 days? My mind in the right place for the end of the year stretch run? Is my mind in the right place for the end of the year stretch run? What projects are still on my annual theme list that I must get done in Q4? So if you're following the 12-week year, you'll be wrapping up your third quarter. So at minimum, 75% of your 2023 annual theme, let's call it punch list. That's how I've been just describing it lately, right? We're all in real estate, brokerage, most of us, although I do have some other entrepreneurs and stuff jumping on, listen to this podcast. But think about what we do in real estate, especially when we sell new construction or we're getting a home ready to list. We've got a list of things that need to be done before we go live, right? We just work down that list. We're 3 months, almost wrapping up 3 quarters, in 2023. You should be able to look at that 2023 annual theme and say, what have I not accomplished and what do I need to get done in the next 13 weeks and 94 days towards those goals? People with annual themes, most of them If you read the 12-week year, most people don't even look at their annual goals until later, right? And then they put all their effort into towards the end. That's what we want to avoid with the 12-week year. But in this case, what we're looking at is everything we've accomplished, and we want to knock out that final things on the punch list, okay? Number 7, what books do I need to read or reread between now and January 1st? Is there a book that really spoke to you when you read it and you're like, man, I need to go back in and read that again? And when I say read, I don't ever read books, just so you know. I listen. To me, they're entertainment. I listen to books. And then if I really, really find one as a game changer, I'll buy the hardcover. I'll listen to it again and mark it up, tab it, and use it as a resource for myself long term. What book do I need to read now, again, between now and January 1st? 8, what do I have left on my Q3 quarterly initiative that I need to finish? Okay, coming up. A little different than we're looking at towards the end of the year and moving into Q4. But what little things do I need to wrap up in the next 2 weeks? Okay. Number 9, is my holiday gifting concept created? My holiday gifting concept created. Have I started? Have I ordered my cards? Have I ordered my thing? I love Thanksgiving, by the way. My favorite week of the year. I think that is what you gift to, especially if you feel grateful for what your clients have given you. What better time frame can you stand out? You're going to be one of very few Thanksgiving cards that hit the mail. But team, I know it seems weird now that it still feels like summer, but trust me, before you know it, those cards are going to need to go in the mail between like the 15th and 18th of November. And if you want to be special with them and handwrite them, and which you should, you want to give some gifts that are noteworthy, you need to be thinking about that right now. And then if you opt for the holiday, to gift around the holidays, what are you going to do? What are you going to focus on? Have you started thinking about that? What do I need to do between now and the end of the year to make sure that my top 100 knows that I appreciate them? Number 10, are all of my current buyers, really buyers? Are my current listings positioned properly to sell this fall? What tough conversations with clients do I need to have in the next week? What tough conversations do I have to have in the next week? We call this inventory management. Got to do a little pruning of our active clientele to make sure that we get them under contract, or we get those listings sold, or collectively move on. They're not serious. Inventory management. Now, on to some random topics that need to be discussed that I have been bringing up, like I said, in my one-on-one conversations over the last few weeks, that I feel I should bring up to the entire group. Okay, I'm going to do that today. Yes, you should be thinking about 2024 now. Okay, you've heard me talk about that in these questions. Yes, you should be thinking about 2024 now. In Q4, we need to be all in on 2024. I would start a notes app or a page in your notebook and start writing down what you want to accomplish as part of your 2024 theme. As you get those little bits of inspiration, write them down. Write them down. Note, I just uploaded the 2024 flight manual to my website, askjimmiller.com. It's under Take Flight. So 2024 is sitting there as of yesterday, with all the dates changed, etc. And I know a lot of you have liked using that flight plan as a guide to plan your annual theme. It's broken down into quarters as well. It's sitting there, askjimmiller.com. Under my Take Flight tab, you'll see the 2024 flight manual sitting there for you. It's actually going to be in the email that I send out tomorrow too, as a downloadable PDF. Number 2, stacking. Remember this word, stacking. The goal is to stack successful quarters on top of successful quarters. While you're at it, stack additional good habits on top of the good habits you've already added. Stacking. Love that word. Number 3, the market dynamics that we are experiencing right now are not going to change anytime soon. Okay, you will have to work for every transaction. 2024, most brokerage CEOs and leaders feel that 2024 will be pretty similar to 2023. Okay, as the battle for inventory continues. 2021 stole a lot of transactions from late 2022 and 2023. Okay, a lot of people bought forward that would have been buying now, and we're going to see some of that normalize a little bit as people's life situation changes, and babies are born, and people get married and combine households. So we're going to start seeing a little bit of that. We have officially moved back into a seasonal market that we've not seen since 2019. Okay. I loved 2021. That was fun. People made a lot of money, but we got to get over it. And part of me is now to the point where I wish 2021 didn't happen, because so many brokers have set their benchmark on what they did in 2021. Okay. That was not real. That was a bumper crop that is a once in a generation, once in a lifetime, once in a career year. Okay. We had low interest rates. We had some pretty decent inventory. We had a pandemic. We had an entire generation that decided all of a sudden to get off the sidelines. This is the millennials jumped into the game and moved out of rental towers and stuff and started buying. That was a once, like I said, once in a lifetime market conditions. Okay. And it stole a lot from, like I said, late 2022 and 2023. So things will normalize a little bit, but inventory is going to be the key. Interest rates, we'll keep an eye on all of that. But we have moved to a seasonal market that we haven't seen since 2019. So yes, August are a little slower, different. I mean, you're wrapping up clients, getting them closed. There's that slowdown late August into mid-September before people come back once they get settled, and the seasonal aspect of just the leaves changing, we'll get those serious buyers back in. So I feel good about this fall market, actually. Pretty excited about it. You have got to go all in on your warm list this summer or this fall. Prepare your client list for 2024. I would be doing as many open houses as you can do right now, because all of those 2024 buyers are going to be out doing their initial research. Okay. And I remember, again, when I was doing open houses, 40% of my database was built on people I met or people that were referred to me by people I met at open houses. And there's just a lot. Where else can you go where you meet people that are researching the market? All right. Once they start going out, they're serious. Focus on your warm list to build your clientele for next year. Get your exterior shots done for those early 2024 listings you know that you have coming up. You've only got a few weeks left of summer foliage, at least those of us in the Midwest and the Northeast, etc. Get that photography done. And 7, of course, reconnect with your top 100 if you have not done so in a while. The best seeds are planted during September, October, and November. Many life decisions are being made during the fall, during Thanksgiving, the week of Thanksgiving, during the holidays, up until January 3rd. A lot of people are together with family and they're talking through certain things. They make big life decisions. So you want to be top of mind when they're making those life decisions. Okay. I got to tell you something. Relationship-based brokers love fall markets. Relationship-based brokers love fall markets. This is where you build relationships. There are so many opportunities, like I said, to connect with your top 100. Can you tell I'm a little giddy about the fall market? Yeah, this is a pep talk today. True and utter pep talk. We talked about inventory management. This is when you prune your buyers list and your list of sellers. Make sure they're real sellers and make sure they're real buyers. 9, the next few months is when you need to start thinking about front loading your 2024 calendars with travel and scheduled events. Travel is difficult right now. You need to book a lot of this stuff 6 months out. So if you got even something that you're going to do in February, March, now's the time. Okay. I read a quote this week that was pretty powerful that I wanted to add. And I actually posted it on my Instagram, and it says, you can't get upset about the results you failed to get from the work you didn't do. Can't get upset about the results you failed to get from the work you didn't do. This market will not reward those brokers that do not put in the work. It's just too competitive. So what's the work, Jim? Well, I've been writing Take Flight almost for the entire year. And by the time I get done here in December or January, you will have everything you need as an operating system to build your business. Okay. I felt there was so much to bring to you today in the broader market with topics that you are thinking about. I'm sure I'm thinking about them. You need to embrace the next few months. Many of you are feeling uneasy because the selling season, quote unquote, is behind us in most hyperlocal markets. Use that feeling as fuel. Use that feeling as fuel. Embrace the next few months. Do the best work you've done all year. Prepare yourself for 2024 being the best year of your career. If you want to do that, you've got to dominate the next 94 days, 13 weeks. Team, I'm going to get back into Take Flight version 4.0 next week. We'll end the year with two topics, two sections or segments of the plane. Deliver and leverage, which is your ability to dominate that level of service and hospitality you provide during the transaction in order to turn one buyer or one listing into two additional clients. Okay. And then we're going to talk about the 3 rocks of marketing, which is your lead generation strategies. I got one last question, unscripted. Do I have your attention? Do I have your attention? 94 days and 13 weeks. Let's go get it. Thank you, team. Talk to you next week.